Hey, English 1010 kids, I'm sorry I can't be there with you today. I'm still feeling sick. I got tested, but I was negative, but they say I'm still supposed to not come to work till my symptoms go away. So, yeah, I'm not there today, which is fine, I guess. Today is going to be a work day. I do like to have work days built into our schedule. I like having days in class that everyone's working because the peer pressure kind of encourages you to stay focused. Also, typically, I like to be in the room there with you. So if you want to run ideas past me or have me read sections or just talk about what you're thinking, I can do that with you. Obviously, I'm not there with you today, but I will stay close to my computer. If you have any questions, you can message me and I'll try to get back as soon as I can. The memoir is going to be due, I hope you got the message. The memoir is going to be due Monday the 21st before class. So whatever period you have me, it's due before that bell rings. And after I get off this call with you, I'm going to update the schedule so it shows that for each of you what time it's due. This is just a rough draft. I know I wasn't there to go over the lesson with you, so maybe you're freaking out more than you should. Maybe you're freaking out less than you should. But this is just a rough draft. Let me just really quickly explain this unit. So over the course of this semester, there are going to be 3 major assignments. The research essay at the end, there's going to be a rhetorical analysis essay, and this first essay is a narrative essay. The narrative essay, you are going to pick between 3 little essays that you write, and you're going to expand it. This memoir is the first of 3 essays. Think of this as a stub, as a rough draft, as just a starting point. During this unit, you're going to write 2 other essays. You're going to write a media experience essay and, the memoir and a literacy narrative. So you're going to write 3 essays, and at the end of this unit, so in maybe 3 weeks or so, you're going to pick one of those and expand it. So this memoir is just a rough draft. So get an idea that's good, that you like, but if it's not perfectly polished yet, that's okay. Let me go over what a memoir is really quickly. I know that the memoir that you read in class, Mint Snowball by Naomi Shihab Nye, this is a story she wrote about her grandpa. Sorry, there's a hummingbird outside looking at me. Hi. I'm dead serious. It's just right there. Should I show you? Oh, is it gone? Sorry. So this is a memoir she wrote about her and her experience with her grandpa. For your memoir, any personal experience about you, it doesn't have to be about a grandparent. It doesn't have to be about someone else. It can be, as long as it's your experience with them. Does that make sense? This is not just a story of her grandpa. It's a story of her experience with her grandpa. The most important thing is it's your own experience. So if it's a story about you going hunting, or if it's a story about your first date, or if it's a story about getting lost in the woods when you were tiny, your own personal story. Now that's only part of it. The second part is that this story has a moral or message or meaning. Mint Snowball isn't just a story about a dessert. It's also a story at the very end, the last third of it, is about her contemplating what we've lost over since the olden days when her grandpa was around. So this story, yeah, it's about the Mint Snowball, but it's really about loss. The idea here is there's the surface meaning, which is what most of the story is. And then there's the deeper meaning, which is given at the end. Actually, with the memoir, you can give it wherever you want, but sometimes it makes the most sense to give it at the end. Another way to put this is, if you're churchy, is to think about this as like a conference talk. If you're not churchy, I do apologize. But if you're churchy, think of it like a conference talk where a general authority, President Monson, whoever, will stand up and tell some long personal story about how Jimmy, his neighbor, didn't have a coat, and how he gave him his coat, and how his mom said, "Good for you," and then they won the World Series, or whatever that is, right? But then at the end of the story, you realize it's not just a story about Jimmy, it's a story about forgiveness. Does that make sense? Good, it does. So your story could be about hunting, but it's really about learning to love. Your story could be about your first date, but it's really about betrayal. And the idea is that through your story, you express an idea that we all can relate to. Even though I haven't been hunting, I can understand the concept of loss, betrayal, love, fear. Does that make sense? So you have a story that delivers some sort of message, some sort of like conference talk message at the end. And this can be a story about anything that happened to you personally. It does need to be a true story. And the main thing here is, well, there's a couple main things I want you to do in this essay. One, we've gone over how to write a sentence, and we've gone over some grammar. So when you write your final narrative essay, of which this is going to turn into, right? It's going to have perfect grammar and perfect sentences. So pay really close attention to the mechanics, to the grammar. On top of that, the thing I want to pay attention to is, do you have a main idea? The main idea is the moral or message of your story. So even though maybe you haven't told us what the moral or message is at the beginning, that should be underneath the surface, guiding and directing it. And me, the reader, I should be able to pick up on that. So when I read this and when I grade these, I'm going to say, how are they doing with grammar and sentences and punctuation and formatting, like the basics? And then do they have a main idea that they develop and stick to? Okay, I need to get this uploaded, and this is already longer than I want it to be. Again, I will be near my computer all day. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me. Today is a work day. Things that you can do during a work day, write, obviously, share ideas with neighbors, brainstorm, go on a walk and let your ideas kind of ruminate, listen to someone else's ideas, just be productive, and I think you guys know what that means. I really do miss you.